Hi, I'm Dana Hansen, the president of End Zone Sports, and it is my pleasure to introduce everyone to Vernon Butler. Vernon, how are you?
Doing great, and you?
Good, good. Vernon is one of our franchise partners. He is actually up in Detroit, Michigan. A lot of times people say, hey man, how does it work in cold weather cities? So I definitely want to get to that. But before we do, I was hoping that you could maybe tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about, did you grow up in Detroit? Tell me a little bit about your background and did you play sports growing up?
Absolutely. So, grew up in Detroit. Played little league football, played basketball. Was involved year round. Won a few championships. Played
Woo!
up until injuries in high school, but always stayed around sports. Coached, volunteered, all of the above.
Hey, I love that. It's in your DNA. I love that so much. Are you married? Do you have kids?
Am married. My wife is actually one of the co-owners, and we have three kids who participate in all of our programming. So, no, enjoy it. And hey, it's a family affair.
It's really cool when you can have activities that involve your family, especially when you can kind of set an example for them, to kind of show them what it's like to be a business owner and the responsibilities that come with that and the pride that comes with that too. I think
Oh, for sure.
that's pretty special. If you don't mind me asking, how old are your kids?
So I have a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old.
All right, there you go. Those are fun ages, that's for sure. Um, so tell me a little bit about your professional life. What did you do before Endzone?
So still doing it. I'm in industrial engineering, so I'm engineering manager for an automotive supplier here in Detroit. Being Detroit, the Motor City, we have a lot of automotive here. Um, and started there right out of college and still doing it while doing end zone. So
Hey,
quite busy while doing it.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I think a lot of people find attractive about our franchise opportunity is the fact that you can do this while you are employed if you want to, or you can, like you have some flexibility. Some people do it full time, some people do it part time. Whatever brings you joy and provides the best situation for your family. So I am curious, how did you find out about End Zone to begin with, and why were you looking for a business? What was that situation like?
So we were looking for multiple streams of income. We reached out to a franchise consultant and they listed a few different options, but as soon as we saw end zone, that really stuck out to us. And, you know, as a kid in high school, my cousin and I wrote down on a sheet of paper what we wanted to do. And we talked about being the owners of a sports team. Didn't know that this was even an alternative then, but it worked out where I was able to check that box off the list that we had created way back when.
Man, that is special. I do you still have the list?
No, so it was at his mother's house, and we can't find that list anywhere.
Too bad, too bad. Well, it's still very cool that you still have that in your mind and obviously such a fun memory. So was it the name that kind of stuck out and grabbed your attention, or was it the fact that it was like sports, or what was it that checked the boxes for you?
Oh, it's definitely the sports aspect of it. A lot of it was, hey, the sports grabbed me. Then after talking to, a few people throughout the organization, just the caliber of people that we spoke with really, stuck out to me. And that's what landed us, at end zone. And yeah, wouldn't change it for the world.
Hey, love that. Appreciate that very much. So I think a lot of people always wonder, like, what's it like to be an owner? Like, what are some of the things that you do on a regular basis? Would you mind kind of share some of those responsibilities?
Of course. So we do leagues for the most part. Um, and it's slightly different whether you're in season or ramping up and marketing for an upcoming season. But a lot of it is centered around communication. So in season, throughout the week, it's communicating schedule, communicating updates from the past week, communicating standings. Again, making sure that parents are in the know. And then on the actual day of games and events, it's really just, being seen, making sure that you're addressing any issues that any parents may have, which is few and far in between, but making sure that the kids are out there having fun. Don't take yourself too serious, get out there coaching with them, playing with them. And then in the off season, it's really not as much, but you're still out there. And for us, it's typically on Fridays. That's our end zone day where we're doing road signs, where we're going to different facilities throughout the area, putting flyers on cars, things like that. And again, communication and marketing.
Love it. And tell me, what are the sports that you focus on? I know we have some flexibility on, there's core sports, but tell me a little bit about your programs specifically.
Yep. So we are mainly, and I use that term loosely, flag football, soccer, cheer throughout the spring and then in the fall. And then we go indoors when, winter comes along and we do basketball and cheer.
Love it. That's awesome. And are you seeing that there's, I talked to quite a few owners that tell me about the word of mouth, in year over year, the leagues, tend to get a little bigger, a little bigger, little bigger. How's it going for you? Are you getting, are most of the people now, the new people, is it kind of a mix of they're seeing road signs or they're seeing, marketing, or is it they know somebody that was in the league, they had a great experience and they're talking about it?
So it's a little bit of all of that. Not only do we do the road signs, we also run Facebook ads the entire time that registration's open. So, that's opening our eye, open eyes of different people that otherwise we wouldn't have reached. And also a lot of returning players and they're telling their friends about it. So, like I said, it's a mix of all of the above.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I think there's sometimes some hesitancy when people say, "Oh, there's already leagues up here. There's already this. There's already that." Was that the case where you're at? There was already, programs, or like tell me a little bit about that piece of it of the business for you.
Yeah, so our area is definitely saturated with different types of leagues, different organizations. But I guess part of my development in this space, having taken part in a few of those different organizations, we kind of learned what to do and what not to do. So we were able to take a lot of what we saw was going right, but also look at what's going wrong and then fill that void.
Mm.
So, um, the biggest one, as I mentioned, was communication, making sure that parents were in the know. And if there were any schedule changes, those were communicated out where they didn't have to find out, after coming to the field, hey, something's been canceled or something. But um, again, it was make sure that parents are in the know. And the competition, yeah, they're still around, but we've had quite a few people that say, hey, we left, another organization came over to you guys and this was the best one. We like the way that you communicate, we like the way that you guys are involved with the program. Whereas some of the other ones, you don't typically meet the um, franchise owners or the territory directors or anything like that. And I think that hands-on approach is really what's garnering us a market share in this area.
That VIP experience. It sounds like that's what you're delivering on a daily basis, and obviously putting smiles on the faces of kids and parents. Man, it's a pretty cool business model when you really kind of think about it in those terms. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I am curious, like, what's your favorite part about being a end zone franchise owner?
So I think the biggest thing is allowing kids to get experiences that they wouldn't have otherwise had and that I would have wanted as a kid growing up. So one of the things that we've made our mission is to partner with local sporting organizations. The now UFL and the Michigan Panthers. We've partnered with DCFC of the United Soccer League,
Hmm.
the uh, Motor City Crews of the G League. So, we created partnerships with them so that we could give the kids, different vantage points of, you know, what they're working towards, as well as things that they wouldn't normally see. So with that, we get to go out on the field or on the court. With the Michigan Crews, they were able to stand with the players as part of the anthem line. And, just to see their faces, being able to be up close with professional athletes, that really, makes my heart smile, and it's pretty rewarding to see.
It sounds like that's a proud moment for you. I love that piece. When you were going in, did you have certain goals for the business? And if they were, I don't know if you mind, sharing them, and are you on track, or, how's that going?
So realistically, we did not know what to expect. Yeah, we talked to everyone, and they told us about what their numbers were, what their uh, profile was, and but we didn't really know what to expect going in. And realistically, we exceeded expectations, as we were able to make that initial investment back within reasonable times, and it was much better than what we were seeing from other business opportunities. And yeah, now it's about growth, and we made the initial investment back. Now it's about how do we grow, and how do we, I guess, get more market share in the area.
Love it. I think that's the way to think. I know you shared, one of the keys to success is really communication, and I think that's really really great. Are there other things that you think, like what does it take to be successful as a franchise owner for End Zone Sports? Like what do you feel like are the keys?
I think one of the things we did say going in is that we wouldn't let anyone outwork us. Um, you know, we knew that we had to be on it as far as making sure that we get our road signs out, making sure that our face is visible, and being on social media, answering every single DM that comes in, every single post on, or every single comment on one of our posts. But really just being diligent and delivering that VIP, that firsthand experience of talking to someone who can actually enact change, being the face. And we set out to not be outworked, and we've still stood by that.
Hey, that's something to say, seeing that you're doing this also on kind of a part-time basis with your wife. So that's very cool. Couple final questions. One, do as far as your wife's involvement and your involvement, do you guys are you doing different things, or are you doing the same things but just more of them? Like how do you split things up?
Yep. So we also have a third person, which he likes to remain silent, but he won't be able to much longer. So we kind of all found our roles, if you will. I'm more of the sports and athletic director, so making sure that the sporting aspect is right, the rule books, the actual scheduling. Excuse me, the actual scheduling, the actual coaching. And my wife, she does the marketing, she does um the face to face with different parents. And our partner, who's not so silent, he does set up on Saturdays with me. He does the back end stuff with making sure our coaching contractors get paid. He does the financials as far as tax documents and profit and loss sheets. Like I said, we all kind of found our roles, and yeah, it worked out pretty well for us.
Hey, that's great, man. I appreciate that. I think one of the things that people really love about this business is you don't have a ton of employees. It seems like with a lot of businesses, the more employees you have, the more headaches you have. Obviously, when you're doing the leagues, you're gonna, pay referees and things like that. But do you have any do you have any full-time employees, or do you have part-time employees, or like what's that look like?
So we have coaches as contractors. We work with them on a seasonal basis, and we bring them on as necessary. And if we have enough parent volunteer coaches, then, we don't need to contract any coaches. So really, we just kind of dictate how we staff based on the needs, and that's typically dictated by parent involvement.
So really not need to bring in other people as long as the parents are engaged and involved and are really, being part of the, part of the fun on game day, so to speak, as a coach, that sort of thing. Is that right?
Correct, and we'll always contract a referee just so there's that impartiality there. So
Yep.
no one's saying, "Oh, they're rigging that." So we like to try and maintain the integrity of the game while making sure that the kids have fun.
100%, man. Appreciate that. So if you had the $1 million question is, if you had to do it over again, would you?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think this was a great decision, and again, it's profitable and it exceeded our expectations, which were, pretty low going in, just because fear of the unknown. And I think that it's something that we wanted to do, and it worked out for the best. So we're gonna keep moving with it.
Hey man, continued success to you and your wife and your partner. We really appreciate you guys bring so much joy to our culture, to our family, and a big part of it. So keep doing what you're doing. Anything else you'd want to add?
I would say, hey, if you're considering it, just do it. I think the group that you'll be working with, through Dana, Shane, Tony, Shane, it's a great structure, and they are there to help. And there hasn't been a day that I hadn't reached out and a question had gone unanswered.
Hey, I appreciate you, Vernon. Thank you so much for the time. I know you're busy, so this means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, appreciate you.
Have a great day.
You too.